Understanding why men want to stay friends after they end a relationship. Well, I'm sure we've all been in situations where we have been asked, can we stay friends? What's that about, and what is the position we should take? I will see you right after this. Hello, my name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert here at the Blackstone Relationship Academy, where we teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. If that is you, then you're on the right channel, and we're going to be talking about why men ask to be friends. Now, I remember all my whole dating life, it was nope, thank you, because generally, I felt that it was just a way of being strung along. But obviously, we can have deeper conversations here at the Blackstone Relationship Academy and maybe open it up a little bit more so that we can actually make a decision that's right for that particular relationship. There are many reasons that a man may want to stay friends. Now, I can only understand it in many ways from the clients that I've worked with, but also from my own personal experience. Have you not dated a guy that you thought was amazing? He had so many great qualities. He was really talented. He had certain contacts. He had certain networks. He had certain opportunities. And he was really just great company, but the chemistry wasn't right. The breakup wasn't tumultuous. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't awful. Painful, yes, but it wasn't like, something terribly terrible. Maybe an incompatibility. Maybe it just was a distant situation. Maybe it was something that you just could not work over, and it just came to you're not a bad person, I'm not a bad person, but at the end of the day, we want different things, and there's no point in us sticking it out because one of us is going to have to fundamentally change their values or their principles or who they are, and that's not fair to anybody. Have you been in that scenario? I hope you have, because that's a really great, healthy breakup. Sometimes we wait it out until the breakup becomes toxic and we're angry and we can't stand each other, but sometimes we're mature enough to see something isn't really going to work because we fundamentally have different operating systems, especially when it comes to life and relationship. In that instance, of course, it may be feasible for you to be friends, but it's very important to be aware that the party that wants to stay friends usually is the one that is ending the relationship. Very rarely, or maybe even sometimes the other way around, but the other way around is really about you begging them to stay in your life because you can't imagine a life that doesn't have them in it. And so usually that is going to be a low value position. It's never going to be healthy to beg or insist or beseech another human being to find you worthy to stay in your life. And sometimes the party that is ending the relationship offers friendship as an olive branch. There are a few reasons we're going to explore. Number one, I don't want to seem like a bad person. I don't want to feel like I've been using you. I don't want to feel like I was disingenuous in the process. So I'm going to offer you this olive branch of friendship to say, look, no hard feelings, we're friends. But often what that means is, when we see each other cross the street, we can stop and say hello. It's not going to be like cross the road because we fell out badly. Sometimes that is what that friendship offer is. So it's really important that if you're being offered that friendship, be clear, get some clarity. What does this friendship look like to you? What does it look like us being friends past this point? I dated a guy once and, I went on a few dates with him. That's what I mean by dating. I went on a few dates with him and I decided we were not compatible. There's no chemistry for me. So I ended it. And I said to him, we should be friends. We lived in similar neighborhoods. We went to similar places. He was a great guy, nothing to be upset about. There was just no chemistry in that for me. And so he took that to mean that he could call me every morning, call me every afternoon, call me every evening, offer to take me to different places, still date me, but under the friendship banner. So in that regard, he didn't quite get the message. And unfortunately, I had to be really firm with him and say to him, look, when I offered friendship to you, it really just was when we see each other in the streets or at the shops, we can share a smile, maybe even have a hug and go about our business. You know, I'm offering you a friendly departure. Obviously didn't take it very well and I had to block him, sadly, but that can happen very easily when somebody is saying let's be friends. They may be coming from a position of let's just be amicable, let's not make this awkward, basically. So be clear about what they mean by friendship. I've always also been in a situation, I know my clients have been in situations where a friendship has been offered, and really that friendship was different from the other one. The other friendship was, I want to speak to you now and again. I want to be able to call you and have a laugh, but I also want to be able to access the resources I had within the relationship. So I'll tell you a story because I love telling stories and you get to know me a little bit better. There was a guy that I was going on dates with. Actually, I think we're in a bit of a relationship, very short-lived. And basically, he had a lot to benefit from me, my network, there was just a lot to be benefiting from when it came to my side. And we really got on. Nothing untoward. Decent guy. Had a lot to offer on his end as well. But definitely I was in that scenario the one who had way more to offer in that. I was just at that place in my life where I had more to offer than he did. And I could see the potential of him having even more to offer than me. And so I was quite really invested in building him up and supporting him, because he was really just a superstar. Like everything about him just said, I am great, I'm gonna be great. And it really wasn't one of those scenarios where I was building on potential. It was really like, okay, we've got some amazing raw materials on the ground, we just have to pull them together, and before you know it, this person is going to be doing incredibly well. And there was a lot of history with us anyway, so I felt that in light of the history and all these other things, I would make that investment in him. And again, it was a very amicable breakup. We realized that we're just not vibrating at the same frequency. Our values were very different. And so when we ended it very amicably, no drama, it was very much, yeah, I agree with you, I think let's call this a day. We both offered to be friends because both of us didn't want to create a scenario that felt awkward, because we genuinely were fond of each other and we genuinely had affection and we didn't want to just walk away. But what I noticed very quickly is that for him, that friendship was keeping the access point to development. He still wanted access to my connections and access to my kind of the stuff that I was offering, my investment. He wanted to access that investment exactly the same way he'd been accessing it when we were co-creating a future together. So for me, it wasn't about I'm investing in him. And I'm going to be doing a video next month or sometime soon about bailing a man out, and a lot of lessons that I learned from there that I'm glad I learned, because I was very conscious as I was learning them, that I'm going to share with you on that video. So make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, and always visit this channel just in case the YouTube algorithm forgets to send you those videos. But basically, I recognized that friendship was to access the resources, in which case I was like, no, I would have ordinarily never been that generous with a friend, that I would have just met recently, like a friend of 6 months. I'm a very generous person, very generous with my friends and everybody that I know, but my generosity is in light of the proximity to my relationship with you. I'll sell everything and give it to the people that are closest to me, or the person that I believe that I'm going to co-create a future with. So that investment was particularly large because we were co-creating a future that we were in agreement with. However, that future is no longer there, so you can't access the resources like you did before. And this is really important because I recognized that it wasn't really me he wanted to have a relationship with. He just didn't want to not have access. I want to thank you so much for your support of this channel. You mean the world to me, and I am so grateful that your likes, your subscriptions, your comments make this work possible. I'd really want to encourage you, before you go any further, if you are enjoying this content, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with somebody that you know will absolutely benefit, because you're changing not only your life, not only the life of your friends, but the lives of women all over the world and children in ways you cannot even begin to imagine. So don't forget, before we get back to the program, to hit that like button and share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you. So that's number 2. Does he want access to something that you were previously giving him? If the relationship was a bit lopsided, where you were the one giving, showing up, doing all of the work, and he says, well, let's be friends, what he doesn't want to lose is access. And that could be sexual access, it could be financial access, it could be social access, it could be all sorts of things. In that case, obviously, you don't want to stay friends. You don't want zapping energy and suffocating energy and withdrawing energy in your life. So that's a friendship that you can definitely say no to. And even if you said yes to it, you have the right to change your mind along the way when you realize that this is just a usury offer, okay? Then there is, can we stay friends when really there's a lot of love there, there's a lot of history, a lot of stuff has been built under the surface, and this particular person just really maybe needs some time to get themselves together. Maybe they want to, go make some more money because they know that you're marriage minded and they know that they're not financially at the point where they can propose. And if they were in that financial position, it would definitely be you that they would propose to. But at this juncture, the pressure maybe in the relationship for them to commit, or the pressure for them to get it right and move the relationship forward when they genuinely feel that they're not in that position. Sometimes a man could offer friendship because he wants to keep tabs on you. He wants to go and create something, build something, get himself together and then come back. But he wants to kind of be able to gauge how much time he has as he goes and does that. I know a story of a young millionaire, young girl who went dating, met a guy, hit it off. It was fantastic. He goes off and realizes she drives a Bentley and he's not there. So he says to her, look, I want to stay friends, but I don't feel like I'm at the level that I would feel comfortable as a man dating you, because where you are and where I am, I wouldn't feel competent and capable. And please don't put anything in the comments like, oh, he should really have his confidence because you're not a black swan. Yeah, we don't like that way of thinking. It's perfectly okay for somebody to say, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I'm not capable, I'm not competent. And that's, for me, something to be really admired rather than trying to waste somebody's time. Anyway, he went away, and I think it was probably a year or 2 years later, he became a millionaire, came back, she was available, they got married, and things worked out just fine. So you have to really touch down with the reason why he may want to pursue friendship and honor his reasons. Don't try and talk him out of it. Don't try and, persuade him just to get out with you. And don't say, I'm going to help you. He's not your husband. Let him be a man. Let him go away. Let him work it out on his own terms, create his own future on his own terms, and come back as a deserving and a competitive man. Masculine energy, be competitive in terms of my options. You've got to be competitive to have my time and attention. So that was a friendship that was worth keeping. That was, an acquaintance that was worth keeping because he genuinely was off to build something. Then there's an offer of friendship where really it's about being strung along. What that means is a bit similar to the first one, where it was about extracting, it was about what he can get out of it, but some of it is stringing along. He knows you're a great girl. He should stick around. Nothing wrong with his finances. Perfectly capable of marrying if you wanted to. Nothing wrong with the relationship. It's going just fine. But maybe he's just not at a point where he emotionally is ready to commit, but he wants to keep you connected emotionally to him so that when he ever feels ready to commit, that you'll still be there, because he would have been stringing you along emotionally. And if you were in love with him and you were, really committed in that relationship, you are going to start to live off the breadcrumbs of this friendship, and he will always push you away when you get too close, and he will always manage your energy in a way that is truly unhealthy. And so the bottom line of this video is why? Why does he want to maintain the friendship? And don't be afraid to say why. Why do you want us to be friends? What is in it for me? What's in it for you? We have a hard time, seeking and asking for mutual benefit in relationships in general. But if a relationship is coming to an end and somebody is renegotiating a new relationship with you after they have already had a previous relationship with you that has failed, you just have to interview them again for that new role. And I think friendship is what we take as a downgrade to romantic relationships, but actually that is the snare, that is the trap. friendships and romantic relationships and family relationships are on exactly the same tier of importance. All of those people influence you. All of those people affect you. All of those people build you or destroy you. So if he wasn't a great boyfriend and he sapped your energy and your strength, what makes you think he's going to make a great friend? If he was, taking from you, what makes you think he's going to become a giving friend? If he wasn't present for you as a boyfriend, what makes you think he'll be present as a friend? And this is why we need to renegotiate that contract and say, hey, what is it that you really want from me? What is it that you want from this friendship? And how does this friendship look? And then from that point, make a decision. So where I used to be like, no, don't do it, don't refuse to be friends, I think that we can be a little bit more nuanced. We can perhaps look at it a little bit differently and make informed decisions by asking the right questions. I hope that this video was helpful. I will see you on my next one, but in the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye.
Simple steps to join Black Swan community. Download the Blackstone app from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. Launch the app and tap on Register. Put in your valid information, then tap on Continue. Put in the verification code sent to your email to authenticate your account. Then log into your account. Be sure to accept all permissions displayed at installation stage to enjoy all the cool features in the app. You can now enjoy a community of high-value women with support from coaches and trainers. Book calls with coaches, chat, post, and interact with the community. Enjoy!